A fist full of bullets, a chest full of Teflon. This is Mark Bell of SuperTraining.tv, Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West. I'm getting a lot of questions about injuries, injury prevention, pain management. The ultimate manager of pain is going to be yourself. Nobody knows yourself better than yourself, and nobody is going to be able to fix you besides you. So, people out there that are writing in with questions about elbow pain during bench pressing and various questions like that, here's some tips. You know, if you're going to do something like a bench press and it bothers your biceps, or let's say like your elbows, maybe, just maybe, for a little while, you don't actually bench press. But rather than being a lazy piece of crap, maybe you substitute those bench presses with something else. Maybe you substitute those bench presses with some overhead pressing, which I've been getting a lot of questions about as of late as well. You can replace some bench pressing on occasion with some type of overhead movement, or incline dumbbell presses, or flat dumbbell presses, or floor dumbbell presses. You can mix things up a little bit. You don't always have to go so full blast in your training. You always want to train hard. You always want to try to put your best foot forward and put the most effort that you can into your training. But you don't always have to do so on the barbell movements, especially when an injury occurs. The worst thing that you can do, though, is to stop moving. So what I always suggest to people is write down 5 things that you can do and stop worrying about the things that you can't do. Because there's nothing you can do about the things that you can't do for a little while. It's going to take you a few weeks to be able to get back to being able to do those. But make sure you're managing your tissues. Make sure you're doing various things to whatever it is that you need to do. Some people like to roll around on a foam roller. I myself don't feel that's that beneficial to me, so I don't bother doing it. Instead, I set up the rack a certain way, and I roll around on the pin, which is much more stiff, made of steel. So I roll around on that a little bit. I get into my shoulders with that, and I do various things like that. I take a kettlebell a lot of times, and I'll use kettlebells, on some different points in my body. Sometimes on my chest, I'll take like about 100-pound kettlebell and just dig it right into the old chesticles there. Things like that. But you guys have to realize that the ultimate manager of pain is going to be yourself. You have to take initiative to get yourself better. And sometimes that means you'll have to seek out the help of other people. I was up at NorCal Masters this weekend, and I ran into some amazing peeps over at Kinetic Sports Clinic. And this was the best active release therapy that I have ever had, and I want to share that with you guys. I'm going to show you the video of them talking about some of the different things they did to me during that session. But those of you who have not heard of active release, look it up online. Try to find an active release practitioner in your area. It can be very effective at getting you back into the game. Rather than sit there and keep crying about your elbow over and over again and missing training sessions, go get it worked on. Go get it checked out. Go get that thing massaged, and get that little gnome out of there. Get things taken care of so you can move around again. Kelly Starrett says all the time that he talks a lot about sliding surface injuries. And basically your tissues should be able to slide and glide, and they should be able to move freely. No popping, no clicking, no stopping. You should be able to move freely without pain, without being inhibited by anything. So if you're having some of those issues, active release therapy can be very effective at helping you to get rid of those sliding surface injuries. And if you're not sure what the hell a sliding surface injury is, simply kind of think about, like, if you do have elbow pain, or you got pain in your forearm while doing bench presses, or let's say maybe deadlifts, but then you put some sort of compression on there, or even somebody just puts even yourself, you just put your finger on there, and now you can start to move your wrist around better, and it feels better. That would be an example of a sliding surface injury, because let's see if I can kind of do it. So you're going to clamp down here, and you're still able to move your wrist around without pain, but without your hand there, without pushing down, without giving some compression, you would have a bunch of pain. So those are examples of sliding surface injuries. There's probably a little gnome going on in there. If you feel you have a gnome, go find an active release practitioner in your area. If you're in Northern California, hit these guys up, Kinetic Sports Clinic. They're in Pleasanton, California, and it was the best work I've ever had done in my life. Later. All right, this is Mark Bell from SuperTraining.tv with another edition of the Power Project. I just got work done, and it's some of the best work I've ever had done on myself. I've been an athlete for years and been beat up and beat on for a long time, and you guys did an outstanding job. Can you kind of explain some of the work that you guys did on me?
Well, the work that we did on you today was just basically recovery work, which is very important, which is the most important element to someone who trains. You need to recover. Without the recovery, you're not going to be able to go back and put your body through the stress that it needs to go through. We've been doing this. We have 40 years of experience between both of us. We've been working with the NFL for over a decade. You name it, we've worked on those people. Basically, it's the missing link to recovery and performance that a lot of athletes don't know about. People always wonder why professional athletes can come back after certain injuries so fast. This is why. This is some of the things that they do.
You said it's about recovery, but that's a pretty painful form of recovery. Can you explain a little bit of what you're doing with the tissues?
Well, what you want to do, the tissue shuts down. When the tissue shuts down, it doesn't allow the body, the muscles to function correctly. So once they start shutting down, there's shorter range of motion. Then it starts throwing other things in the aspect, like as far as your hips shut down, your knees shut down, your ankles shut down. So what we do, we open up the tissue to make it glide better. Once it starts to glide, your body starts to function back to the way it's supposed to.
Well, the work you guys did on me was unique. You guys worked as a team. Can you talk about that for a second?
Well, like anything, teamwork is the most important thing,
Double team,
tag team, Wonder Twin.
We provide a lot of movement with the client, so we're going to mimic anything that they do, whether it's running, squatting, so we provide that movement. So we work with the kinetic chain. He's working on the shoulder, I'm working on the leg. And
so you're kind of taking the person through a movement as you're kind of gliding over the tissue, right?
Exactly.
Much more functional. It helps open up the tissue a lot quicker. So we go right to the source.
Where can people find you guys? What website? And all that good stuff.
KineticChainSport.com. We are also on Facebook at Kinetic Chain Sport. We are currently in Pleasanton, California, but we are mobile, so a lot of athletes hire Monty and I as a team, and we can fly wherever.
So you guys will go to events and stuff like that?
Yeah, so today we're at this, one of the biggest Masters CrossFit Expo for 40s, 50s, and 60-year-old CrossFit competitors. So
awesome.
It's really... CrossFit has really kind of taken over in the industry, and we notice that a lot of people are getting injured or just don't know the right way to recover, and that's what we do.
Well, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it, and hopefully more people will find out about Kinetic Chain Sports. Thank you.
Thank you.